Hello, Dr. Richardson here again to talk about coal today. 45% of all electricity produced in this country comes from burning coal. Although coal is one of the most recognizable rocks that people can see, there's three grades of coal that we're going to talk about today, and they all differ. We're lucky in the United States because coal forms in a very specific environment. Coal forms in swamps. If you think about a swamp, it's full of plants and trees. When those plants and trees die, they fall over and they sink to the bottom and they sit there and rot extremely slowly. As they continue to get buried and compressed and compacted, that organic material turns into peat, just like the peat moss that you buy at the home improvement stores. As they continue to get compacted and compressed and buried, they turn into coal. That's why we can't produce synthetic coal, because we can produce the process in the lab, but we can't really reproduce the time that it takes to produce coal over millions of years. There's three grades of coal we're going to talk about today. There's lignite, bituminous coal, and anthracite. Lignite is brown coal. Most of this coal is fairly young coal. Geologically speaking, that's anywhere in the last 60 million years or so. Lignite forms very close to the surface. It hasn't been buried. So most of the lignite that's mined is strip mined, meaning no one has to go underground. Most of the lignite mined in the United States is mined out west. If you look at the map behind me, these various shades of green that you see in North Dakota, South Dakota, Wyoming, Montana, and places, that's where you get the lignite mined at the surface. If you ever drive through one of those states and you see these huge excavators, they're strip mining for lignite. In 2010, Wyoming produced 41% of all the coal mined in the United States, and it was lignite. Lignite burns fairly clean, but it also doesn't burn very hot. So in order to get the heat that you need by burning coal, you need to burn more lignite, which drives up the volatile material and increases the pollution. Bituminous coal is black coal for obvious reasons. This is the garden variety coal that you see on train cars. It formed about 300 million years ago. It's fairly old coal. All the classic coal fields in the eastern United States from the 50s, 60s, and 70s are produced bituminous coal. So all these gray that you see in Pennsylvania, Ohio, West Virginia, Kentucky, Tennessee, Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, that is all bituminous coal. This is the coal that most people think of when you mention coal. The problem with bituminous coal is it burns really hot, but it also burns really dirty. So it really drives up the pollution, but you get the heat that you need. The last coal that we'll talk about is anthracite. Anthracite is called silver coal for obvious reasons. Anthracite is metamorphosed coal. What does that mean? That means it was bituminous coal. It was caught up in a tectonic process. Heat and pressure changed it to anthracite. Anthracite is good. It burns really, really clean, and it burns really, really hot. The problem is we don't have any more. If you can look at the map behind me, these little shades of orange out here in east central Pennsylvania near Hershey and Lancaster, and a little bit up in Rhode Island is all the anthracite we had. We used it all up. You can still find some on the side of the highway, but it's not enough to set up shop and mine it for profit. If you ever see old movies of locomotives as they go down the track and they're belching black smoke, they're burning bituminous coal. Some movies you see the locomotives belching white smoke. They're burning anthracite. So you can see there's a good difference between the dirty coal and the fairly clean coal. So the next time you flip on your lights at home or at work, you know where that energy comes from.